Welcome to the next session of the video lecture regarding the radiation resistance of a short dipole antenna. Okay. So in the previous video lecture, we were discussing something regarding the radiation pattern of a small current element that we have drawn from the equation that we have obtained previously, and the radiation pattern is nothing but the figure of 8 in case of a small current element, which otherwise we can call this as a definite shape. Now let me proceed to calculate the radiation resistance of a short dipole antenna. You write that one, radiation resistance of a short dipole antenna. Radiation resistance. Anyway, this I have explained you what is radiation resistance and all those things in the what you call as in the beginning of the antenna session. Okay, while I have been drawing that block diagram of the antenna. Okay, radiation resistance of short dipole. Okay, radiation resistance of short dipole antenna. Okay, this is the session that I will be taking today in today's video lecture. Okay, so what is the need for calculating the radiation resistance? That we have to know. Okay. Actually, what is radiation resistance? That you have to, but once more that I am discussing here. That is radiation resistance is nothing but the power that or the power that is being, or the amount of power that is being radiated from by the antenna. That indicates the radiation resistance. So power we require the power. Power is always denoted by W in case of an antenna. So the total, how much amount of power that is being, how much amount of signal or the power that is being given to the antenna, to the input of the antenna, and how much amount of power the antenna is being radiated into the free space, that indicates the radiation resistance. Okay, so by calculating the radiation resistance, we can find out how much power is being radiated from the antenna. In general, like right, by calculating the radiation resistance, that is the first point is nothing but by calculating the radiation resistance, calculating the radiation resistance, we can find out how much power, we can find out how much power is radiated from the antenna. How much power is radiated from the antenna. Okay, how much power is actually if 100% power is being input to the antenna, we will normally indicate that 10% there will be a 10% loss, or the 10% power will be reflected back to the sources. But only 90% of the power will be radiated to the antenna. That 10% will be reflected back. So that is the normal consideration of the antenna terminology. Okay, that is not all the power will be radiated. There will be some losses will be there. So about 90% of the power will be radiated to the free space, and the 10% will be given back to the source itself. So in order to calculate the total power radiated from a small dipole antenna, we will utilize the surface integral of average Poynting vector around any surface. Okay, we will utilize the surface integral of average Poynting vector. Normally, you know regarding the average Poynting vector, which is nothing but the power flow per unit area. So normally the surface what we have been utilizing here is nothing but the spherical surface, or the simplest surface we may choose here is nothing but the sphere, where the antenna is being kept at the center of the spherical coordinate system. Okay. So the total power radiated, right? The second point, total power radiated from a short dipole, radiated from a total power radiated from a short dipole antenna is given by, and right, for small dipole antenna is given by the surface integral of the average Poynting vector, surface integral of a average Poynting vector around any surface. Okay, around any surface. Here the surface is or around any surface enclosing the antenna. I can write like that. Average Poynting vector around any surface enclosing the antenna. Around any surface enclosing the antenna. I think it is clear for you people. Okay. So the total power radiated from a short dipole antenna is given by surface integral of a average Poynting vector around any surface enclosing the antenna, and that is given by W, that is the total power radiated. W is nothing but integral average Poynting vector, that is written by P average into ds, surface integral. Okay, where W is the, I can write W is nothing but power radiated that is normally indicated in watts, and P average is nothing but the average Poynting vector, average Poynting vector, that is indicated in watts per meter square. Okay, that is clear for you, watt per meter square. So as I told you, the simplest the surface what we have been utilize here is nothing but the sphere. That also I will write. The simplest surface we chosen is a sphere. Is a sphere with the antenna at the center. Okay, with the antenna kept at the center. The antenna at the center of the sphere. Okay. So the as you know, we are taking normally the spherical coordinate system only. So we are taking the sphere, we are keeping the antenna at the center of the sphere, and based upon this we are calculating all the other components that is related to r, theta and phi. Okay. So here the far field equation of an antenna, as we know, we have calculated the far field components as well as the near field component. From that itself it is very clear that the far field equation of the antenna are easier than that of near field antenna. But you can able to calculate the near radiation resistance for the near field also. But in case of an antenna, we require the radiation resistance at the far distance. So normally we will calculate the radiation resistance for the what you call as far field components only. Okay, so that also I will write it as far field equations. The next point as far field equations for an antenna are easier or simpler or easier than the near field, than the near field relation. Okay, near field relation. I think that is clear for you. Okay, so we will take only the near far field component. So what we will do is we will make the radius of the by considering the far field, we will keep the radius of the sphere large compared to the dimension of the antenna. Since we are taking the far field equation, we will keep the radius of the sphere. We will keep radius of the sphere large compared to compared to dimension of the antenna, compared to dimension of the antenna. I think it's clear for you. We will keep the radius of the sphere large compared to the dimension of the antenna. Okay. So the surface of the sphere will be lies in the far field, and only the far field component are considered now. So that also right. The surface of the sphere lies in the far field, and only the far field component, components are considered. I think this is clear for you regarding the introduction part. Okay. As I told you, the simplest surface we chosen is a sphere with antenna kept at the center of the sphere. Since we have been we can able to calculate the radiation resistance for both the what you call the near field region as well as the far field region. But normally in this condition, in case of a normal antenna, normally we are going for the radiation resistance at the further distance. So what happens means we will consider only the far field equation for antenna, and the equation for that also is very simpler compared to that of near field relation. So we will point more on the far field relation only. So we will keep the radius, since we have been normally utilizing the far field equation. What we will do is we will keep the radius of the sphere large, that is radius of the sphere large compared to the dimension of the antenna. So if you are taking the dimension of the antenna as well as the radius of the sphere, the radius of the sphere should be large compared to that of dimension of the antenna. That should be keep in mind. That is very important. Okay. So the surface of the sphere lies in the far field, and only the far field components are being considered here. So, okay. only the far field components. Don't don't think that why the near field region. You can calculate the equation. You can calculate the radiation resistance for near field region also. But in this condition, we are normally we are more concentrated only into the far field region. Okay, so you know the power radiated by antenna is nothing but the is equal to the average power delivered to the antenna terminal, which is nothing but 1 by 2 into I square m into or Im square into r. Okay, so that we can write the what you call as the power radiated by an antenna that is the power radiated by an antenna the power radiated by an antenna is equal to the average power delivered to the antenna terminal is equal to the average power delivered to the antenna terminal delivered to the antenna terminal that is clear. So which is nothing but that is given by W equal to, normally the power is given by, we will normally take it as with the RMS power, that is I square RMS into R. So RMS, I RMS already you know, it is nothing but Im by root 2. I RMS is nothing but Im by root 2. So what I will do, it is nothing but W is nothing but Im by root 2 the Im by root 2 the whole square into R, that is nothing but W is nothing but I square Im square by 2 into R. So that is nothing but the power radiated by the antenna. So that in general I can write R is nothing but 2W by Im. Okay, or I can write R is nothing but, from here R is nothing but 2W by Im, 2W by Im square. Okay, so this is the equation for the radiation resistance for a antenna. R is nothing but this one. Okay, so keep in mind this. In general I can write it as RR or radiation resistance, which is nothing but 2W by Im square. So we have to we will calculate the equation for this one, and we will finally we will find the equation for W, the power radiated by the antenna, and based upon that we will able to calculate the equation for the radiation resistance. I think this is clear for you. Okay, so here I can write R is nothing but the radiation resistance. R equal radiation resistance. Okay, radiation resistance and W already you know, it is nothing but the power radiated, and Im is nothing but the what you call as the current that is being flowing through the antenna. In general we can write this R as nothing but equal to R suffix R, that is normally indicated as radiation resistance. So in general you know that the average Poynting vector or the average Poynting vector is given by, I will write that one, average Poynting vector average Poynting vector is given by P average, which is nothing but 1 by 2. This equation I have already discussed in the while discussing something regarding the parameters of the antenna. 1 by 2 into real part of E cross H. H I will take as complex conjugate. Okay, E cross H. E cross H. Okay. So what we will consider, the radius of the antenna is too high. So we will consider only E theta and H phi components will be existing. Okay. Normally we are having E theta, E phi, ER, and H theta, H phi, and HR. But here we have considered that the radius of the sphere is high compared to that of antenna size. So what we will do, we will take only the theta and phi component. That is E theta and phi component will be existing. That is, considering that radius of the sphere radius of the sphere, radius is too high. I can write as radius is high. Only E theta, radius is high. What we will do? Only E theta and H phi components will be existing. Will exist. Okay. Will exist. Will be existing. Okay. So now we can write that as the average Poynting vector PR. In general, we can call this as PR or P average. Okay, or generally called as PR, radiated power. PR, which I can write it as 1 by 2 real part of E theta into H phi complex. Okay, but in general, E theta by H phi is nothing but intrinsic impedance. E theta, that you should keep in mind. Okay, E theta by H phi is nothing but intrinsic impedance eta naught, that you know. Okay, and what is that one? That is E theta by H phi is nothing but intrinsic impedance eta naught, which is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught, which implies E theta equal to eta naught into H phi. Keep in mind. Okay, that one. So that I can rewrite this as PR. Now I will just substitute the values of what you called as E theta in this equation. That is PR equal to 1 by 2 into real part of E theta into H phi. So what I will write? I can rewrite this PR, the radiated power or power average Poynting vector, which is nothing but 1 by 2 into real part of, now E theta is nothing but eta naught into H phi into H phi complex. Okay, into H phi complex. I think it is clear. So I can write 1 by 2 into real part of E theta into H phi into I think it's clear. It's not, it is right. so or in general I can write it as PR is nothing but 1 by 2 that is real part of eta naught into I can write it as h phi, that is modulus of h phi square. Okay, or in general PR is nothing but 1 by 2 into h phi square into real part of eta naught, real part of eta naught. So in general I can write a real part of eta naught, real part of eta naught is nothing but eta naught itself. So I can write PR equal to 1 by 2 into h phi square into real part of eta naught is eta naught. So but you know eta naught is the root of epsilon by mu naught by epsilon naught, that I will write PR equal to 1 by 2 into h phi square into root of mu naught by epsilon naught. I think it's clear for you how you are getting the average point vector, that is PR or the power radiated. But in general, you know, the total power radiated by the antenna is given by W is nothing but the integral, surface integral of P average into ds. Okay, so that I will write the average Poynting vector, the power radiated by the antenna is given by, that is power radiated by the antenna is W is nothing but integral of P average into ds. That in general I can write as integral PR into ds, or normally the surface integral we are taken as ds, we can write this as r square sin theta d theta into d phi, because we have taken the surface integral. Okay, the surface integral as sphere is the surface, so we will take the ds as r square sin theta d theta into d phi. So this so since we are considering the sphere, since we are considering the sphere, we can write ds equal to r square sin theta d theta d phi. Okay, r square sin theta d theta d phi. So in general I can write W is nothing but integral PR r square sin theta d theta d phi, or PR already you know, that is nothing but 1 by 2 e theta h phi, that one. So that I will write W is equal to double integral PR is nothing but 1 by 2 normal equation, that is e theta cross h phi star into r square sin theta d theta d phi. Okay, so that I can rewrite it as what is that one, in W is nothing but the general equation, that is W is nothing but from 0 to 2 pi integral 0 to pi 1 by 2, one more equation I will write, E theta cross H phi star R square sin theta d theta d phi. It is clear. Okay, so that I can write W is nothing but integral 0 to 2 pi integral 0 to pi 1 by 2 into this thing we have changed it as H phi square. Okay, into root of mu naught by epsilon naught R square sin theta d theta d phi. It is clear for you. Okay, so normal substitution only. In general case, we will take the common term, one with respect to d theta and other with respect to d phi. So that is nothing but W is nothing but integral 0 to 2 pi with the d phi and integral 0 to pi H phi square root of mu naught by epsilon naught R square sin theta d theta d phi. Sorry, d phi already be taken, so we require only d theta. It's clear. So that is nothing but W is nothing but 1 by 2. I forgot to write 1 by 2 here, that is 1 by 2 is also the, okay, I will take 1 by 2 outside, as well as root of mu naught by epsilon also outside, mu naught by epsilon naught integral 0 to 2 pi into d phi integral 0 to pi R square sin theta d theta into H phi. One more term is there, that is H phi terms. Okay, H phi terms. I think it's clear. My handwriting is not so good, so try to make up with this one. Okay, I think you can able to, it's not so good, so try to make up with this one. Okay, so now what we require, we know the equation for H phi that we have been calculated from the what you called as from the current element in the previous case, that is H phi e theta er e phi H theta H r H phi. So that equation directly we will take, that is H phi. We know that H phi is equal to, just see that equation, omega naught, or I will take omega, I think it is omega or omega naught, just anyway, if you are taking omega or omega naught, it's not problem, or dl or l, no problem. I will take l only here. Omega im dl, im omega into, sorry, omega, it is not w, okay, it is omega im l. In the previous case I have written dl, that is the small current element. So here we are taking the a current element, it is taking the short dipole antenna, so instead of dl we can take it as l, no problem. Okay, or instead of omega naught I can write it as omega, no problem for that one. So omega im dl or im l sin theta the whole square Im sine theta by S naught whole square by 4 pi 4 pi, I think it is C into R, so 4 pi C into R. In general, we have written H phi is nothing but, don't confuse with an omega naught Im dl sine theta by 4 pi C into R. This is the far field component for H phi terms, what we have derived from the small current element. So in this equation, I have taken, instead of this dl, I have taken as L, and instead of this omega naught, I have taken as omega. Only the changes I have made, because here the current element is not so small, it is dipole antenna. Okay, so instead of L, I will take instead of dl, I will take L only, and instead of omega naught, I will take omega. So just substitute this equation in this equation, that is in this equation you just substitute here this equation, that is just substitute that is H phi. This is H phi, I will call it as equation A, something like that, and this as equation B. So substitute equation B in equation A. Okay, just substitute equation B in equation A. What you will get? Just 1 minute. Okay. What you will get? W is nothing but 1 by 2 root of mu naught by epsilon naught integral 0 to 2 pi d phi integral 0 to pi, that is omega Im L sine theta by 4 pi C R the whole square, because this is H phi square, into R square sine theta d theta, R square sine theta d theta. This is sine theta. Okay, so they are going to be this one. This is sine theta. Clear? I just substitute the equation B in equation A. Okay, instead of H phi, I have written omega Im L sine theta by 4 pi C into R the whole square. So this I can rewrite it as W, the power radiated. W is nothing but 1 by 2 root of mu naught by epsilon naught. This is d phi, that I can written as 2 pi minus 0, that is 2 pi into integral 0 to pi, that is I will take omega square inside that, is omega square Im square L square sine square theta divided by 4 square is nothing but 16, or I will write directly 4 pi C 1 minute 4 square is, that is 16 pi square C square R square, one more R square sine theta d theta. So what happens, this R and this R will be get cancelled. This R square and this R square will get cancelled. So you will have omega square Im square L square by 4 pi 4 is nothing but 16 pi square. So any other terms we have to delete? 1 by root 2 root of mu naught by epsilon 2 pi is okay, omega square Im square L square by 16 pi square c square. Okay, so okay, that is correct, only. So what I will do, I will just I just bring all other terms, that is sine square theta with respect to theta only, we have to integrate that term. That is integrate from 0 to pi with respect to theta. So all other constant term I will take outside. Okay, now so what happens, w, sorry, w equal to, one minute, I will changes the pen intensity. One minute. Sorry. So I taken w is nothing but, anyway, w is nothing but 1 by 2 root of mu naught by epsilon naught into 2 pi into omega square im square L square by 16 pi square c square into integral 0 to pi sine cube theta, because here one sine square theta is there, here one sine theta, so what becomes this sine cube theta into d theta. It is clear. Omega square m square L square by 64 pi is, okay, that's clear. So what I will do, this I can change it as, it is not w square, it is omega square. Okay, so this is nothing but omega. So this one I can write it as 2 and 2 will get cancelled again. This and this one I will cancel this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. 1 pi I will cancel from here. Here we will have 1 pi, so we will have only 1 pi. So at last we can get the equations as, and last we will get w is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught, 2 and 2 get cancelled, it will be omega square by c square is not im square L square divided by 16 pi. It's okay, into integral 0 to pi sine cube theta into d theta. That is clear for you. It's not mu naught by epsilon naught omega square by c square im square L square by 16 pi integral 0 to pi sine cube theta into d theta. So I can write on this term, this omega by c square, that is, just take omega by c square, that is omega by c is nothing but beta. Okay, so I will substitute that equation here, that is w is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught. Root of mu naught by epsilon is nothing but 120 pi only. Okay, that we can substitute here. Omega by c is nothing but beta square. Okay, so it will be beta square, which implies, I can write, which implies omega square by c square equal to beta square. So I write beta square im square, sorry, Im square L square divided by 16 pi into 0 to pi sine cube theta into d theta. So there is an equation, there is a standard, you just ask with your mathematics teacher, there is a standard equation for this one, this term, that is I will show you, sorry. This term, okay, this term will have a standard equation that is given by, first term is given by integral 0 to pi by 2 sine s to m theta d theta. I can write it as m minus 1 divided by m. Okay, m minus 1 divided by m. So this is one standard equation. So I will utilize this here in this equation and substitute the value for sine q theta. Okay. Sorry, small change in the pen. That's good. So what I will do is I will just write W, and this is a lengthy equation anyway. W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta square Im square L squared by 16 pi. This I can write as 3 minus 1 by 3. It's not m, here m is 3, so I can write as 1 minute, pi by 2 so sorry, here also 2 into pi by 2 into 0 to pi by 2, just like that I go 2 into 0 to pi by 2 as sine m theta of d theta becomes equal to m minus 1 by m. So this I can write as into 2 into m is nothing but 3 minus 1 by 3. This is clear for you. Okay, this is a standard equation, that is 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2 sine m theta d theta can be written as m minus 1 by m. Okay, so that I can rewrite it as W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta square Im square L square by 16 pi. 2 into 3 minus 2 is 2, that is 4 by 3 into 4 by 3. Okay, so what is that one? 4, 16, 4, 3, 12. So W changes to W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta square. I'm writing each and every step, okay, that's why 16 pi, sorry 16 pi, that is this 4 and 4, look at it, so you will have 4 into 3, that is 12 pi, because 4 and 4 can cancel, 4 and 16, only 4 pi will be there, this 4 goes, 4 into 3 12, so it will be 12 pi. Clear? So in general I can write W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught into beta IML the whole square by 12 pi. It's clear? So this is nothing but the power radiated by the antenna, short dipole antenna. Okay, just keep in mind. This is nothing but the power radiated by the small dipole antenna. This is epsilon naught omega by epsilon naught. Okay, so but what you know, You know the radiation resistance is given by RR is nothing but in the first equation itself we calculate RR is nothing but 2W by Im square. RR is nothing but 2W by Im square. So we'll calculate because our main aim is to calculate the radiation resistance. For that purpose we have to calculate the power radiated by the antenna. So we'll write radiation resistance. Radiation resistance is given by RR is nothing but 2W by Im square. So which is nothing but RR is nothing but 2 into W, you know, it is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta IML the whole square divided by 12 pi, one more term is that is into Im square. Sorry, 12 pi Im square. Okay, so you know mu naught by epsilon is nothing but 120 pi, that is intrinsic impedance, which is given by eta naught is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught. The values for that one is nothing but 120 pi. I will just substitute that here. So you have the radiation resistance RR will be 2 into 120 pi. Okay, 2 into 120 pi beta L. I will write this terms common square Im square divided by 12 pi Im square. So this Im and this Im will get cancelled. That implies this and this get cancelled. This will be 6. So that implies 120 pi beta L the whole square divided by 6 pi. Okay, one more term is there. So that is nothing but RR is nothing but this pi and this pi get cancelled. 6 it will be 20. It's not. This will be 20. So what I can write as 20 beta square L square. It's not 20 beta square L square. So that again I can write it as RR, that is radiation resistance. RR is nothing but 20 beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. Beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. So sorry. Beta is nothing but 2 pi by, so if you 6 you go, it will have only 20. Okay, beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. 2 pi by lambda, that is 2 pi by lambda the whole square into L square. Okay, L square. That in general we can write as radiation resistance RR is nothing but 20 into 4 pi square by lambda square into L square. That is radiation resistance RI is nothing but 80 pi square by lambda square into L square. Okay, or it is nothing but RR will be, I think it is 80 pi square, that is 80 pi square. I will club these two together, 80 pi square L by lambda the whole square. L by lambda the whole square O. Okay, that is in general that is nothing but radiation resistance is nothing but 80 into 3.1416 the whole square into L by lambda the whole square. So that is nothing but radiation resistance is nothing but 80 into some 9.3 9 point how much 9.8696 wrong, it will come 9.8696 L by lambda the whole square. Okay, so in general if you write radiation resistance is nothing but 789.57 into L by lambda the whole square, or radiation resistance of a short dipole normally can be nearly equal to 790 L by lambda the whole square O. Okay, this is the equation for the radiation resistance. Okay, radiation resistance of a short dipole, that is nothing but 790 ohm is normally we will calculate the equation further. We can proceed this one. That means we have taken that the if the complex Poynting vector, that is nothing but 1 by 2 into E cross H star over a surface enclosing in the antenna is integrated. In general case we will obtain the, that is the Poynting vector, average Poynting vector, that we are given as 1 by 2 into E cross H star, H complex. Okay, if we are integrating that one, we will get two terms. One is nothing but the real part and other one is the reactive part. As I told you, real part equal to the power radiated and an imaginary part equal to the reactive power. That is while I have taken the introduction part of the antenna, I was explaining that one. That is average Poynting vector. You will get both the real part as well as imaginary part. Real part is given by the power radiated and imaginary part is equal to the reactive power. Okay, as such real or radiated power is same for the surface enclosing the antenna. Okay, the imaginary or reactive power obtained depends on the antenna shape of the or the size and shape of the surface enclosing the antenna. Okay, it is clear for you. Anyway, that I have already explained that one. That is Poynting vector. If you are integrating the average Poynting vector, that is 1 by 2 D cross S star, you will get the two term. One term is nothing but the radiated power. Another term is nothing but the reactive power. This radiated power is nothing but the power radiated by the antenna, and reactive power, which is nothing but the imaginary part, is equal to the reactive power. Okay, and the real part is equal to the radiated power. Imaginary part equal to the reactive power, and radiated power always indicate the power radiated by the antenna enclosing the surface, and the imaginary or reactive power indicate the size and shape of the surface enclosing the antenna. Okay, that also we can write that one. That is in the conclusion portion. That is, if the complex, if the complex Poynting vector, complex Poynting vector that is given by 1 by 2 E cross H star over a surface enclosing a antenna over a surface enclosing an antenna is integrated we may obtain in general we may obtain what you call as both a real part which is equal to the power radiated and an imaginary part which is equal to the reactive power. Okay, which is equal to the reactive power. Okay, the real part is nothing but the power radiated. The real part which implies radiated power or the radiated power. Radiated power. Radiated power for any surface enclosed in the antenna. Radiated power, I think that is not required. Radiated power of an antenna enclosed in the any surface. Enclosing any surface, and this thing indicate reactive power obtained which depends on the size and shape of the surface enclosed in the antenna. It depends upon the size and shape of the surface enclosing the antenna. Enclosing the okay. That's clear for you. So if with a complex point vector, as I told you, which is given by 1 by 2 d cross h star over a surface enclosing an antenna is integrated, you will get both the term, that is the real part as well as imaginary part. Real part will be related to the power radiated, that is nothing but the radiated power of an antenna enclosing any surface, and imaginary part is related to the reactive power, which gives the reactive power obtained mainly depends on the size and shape of the surface enclosing the antenna. So while deriving the what you call as a expression for the short dipole, we have used the restriction that lambda will be very much greater than that of L. Okay, so that also I will write, that is in deriving the field expression. The field expression in this sense means both the electric field as well as the magnetic field that we have already derived before the lockdown. Okay, that is E theta H, E theta E phi H, E R, and H theta H phi and HR. In that condition, we had derived for the current element, there we had indicated that lambda will be very much less greater than that of L. Okay, in deriving the field expression for short dipole, anyway short dipole or current element is somewhat same. Okay, short dipole, we have made the resistance, we have the restriction lambda, that is we have the resistance lambda should be very much greater than L. Okay. So this will be eliminate the phase difference of field contribution from different part of the dipole. Okay. So if you are utilizing lambda is very much greater than L, that will eliminate, so which implies, or it will eliminate the phase difference, eliminate the phase difference from different part of the dipole, from different part of the dipole, from different part of the dipole. Okay. So let me find that radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole violating the above assumption, that is then I will consider that L is equal to lambda by 2. Okay. Let's what I told you, let the radiation resistance, let the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna of a half wave of a half wave dipole of half-wave dipole violating the above assumption, violating the assumption what we have made, that is lambda is very much greater than L, then I can write, then L can be taken as lambda by half-wave dipole, lambda by 2. So under that condition, your radiation resistance, RR is nothing but, in general it can be written 790 into L by lambda the whole square. L is nothing but lambda by 2, L by lambda into 1 by lambda the whole square. Okay. So lambda get cancelled, it will be 790 by 4. So radiation resistance is nearly equal to 790 by lambda get cancelled, it will be 790 by 4. So RR is nearly equal to 197 ohm. Okay, this is the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna. So violating that condition, that is L, lambda is very much greater than L, we will take L is nothing but lambda by 2. So under that condition, the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna will be nothing but 197 ohm. So normally the correct value is nothing but 1680 ohm. Okay. So normally we are in theoretical condition, the radiation resistance is given by 197 ohm. So this indicates that the magnitude of the error introduced by violating the resistance lambda very much greater than L to the extent of taking L equal to lambda by 2. Okay. It is further assumed that the end loading of the dipole current is uniform, but without end loading the current must be 0 at the end. So I can make a conclusion from here, that is a conclusion, that is with end loading, the dipole current is being uniform. The dipole antenna current, is uniform. But without end loading, the current must be 0. The current must be 0. Okay, so what happens under that condition? The current will be tampers almost linearly from a maximum at the center to 0, which implies the current tampers in dipole current tampers, or current tamper or tappers, I can write it like this, tappers. Okay, current tappers almost linearly from a maximum at the center to the 0 at the end, at the ends. Okay, so that I will draw here. That is, with this conclusion we can make, with the end loading the dipole current is uniform, but without end loading the current must be 0. That is, in dipole the current tapers almost linearly from a maximum at the center to the 0 at the ends. So that is somewhat like this. So this is nothing but a dipole antenna which is having the length L equal to lambda by 2. We have taken that, we are violating the condition, lambda is very much greater than L. So what happens? The current distribution in this case will be tapers almost linearly from the maximum, this is the maximum at the end, to the center to the 0. So like this it will tapers. Okay, sorry. From here it will tapers like this. So this will be the current distribution. So this is the what is called as triangular current distribution. Triangular current distribution. Okay. So in dipole current tapers almost linearly from a maximum at the center to the 0 at the end. So that is, I will include that also with the average value of our average values with the average value of 1 by 2 of the maximum Okay, so this is the case. So our modified what you call as I will stop here. Okay, I will continue some more portion is there. Otherwise I will continue from here itself. Okay, so what I will do is I will take that modified power radiated by the antenna, that is given by what you call as 1 minute. I will change the ink. Okay, so we have some what you call as the power radiated, that is from our equation, that is the power, radiated power. We have calculated the equation for the radiated power, that is W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta IML whole square divided by 12 pi. That is the power radiated by the antenna. Just now we have calculated that equation, so we can modify that one. That is, I will write that one. That is the modify the power radiated. That is, I will write it as W. What we got it as root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta square Im square L square divided by 12 pi watts. Okay, so here Im, as I told you, Im is at the amplitude of average current of dipole, that is nothing but the average current of the dipole. Hence the power delivered to the dipole, is given by, this is the modified, this equation, that is this equation is nothing but the modified equation what we obtained while deriving by including that H5 components and all those things. Okay, by substitute the equations of H5 component, we obtain the power radiated by the short dipole antenna, that is modified power, that is power radiated by the dipole antenna. But we have a power that is being delivered to the antenna, that is given by 1 by 2 into Im square RR in watts. So power delivered to the dipole antenna is given by W is nothing but 1 by 2 Im square RR watts. This is the power delivered to the antenna, but the modified power is nothing but W is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta square Im square L square by 12 pi watts. After considering only the far field components, we got that power radiated by the antenna. So the power delivered to the antenna should be made equal to that of power radiated by the antenna in general case. That is, in order to have a 100% efficiency or have 100% efficient antenna, we should be or in case of an isotropic antenna, it should be required that all the power that is being given to the antenna should be totally radiated by the antenna. So the power radiated to the antenna or power delivered to the antenna should be equal to the power radiated by the antenna. So in that condition, I can write the W equating these two equations, that is, I will take this as equation AB. I will take this equation as B, C and D. Okay, equating equation C and D, equating equation C and D, what will get? W is nothing but 1 by 2 Im square RR, which is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught beta IML by 12 pi the whole square. Sorry, one small mistake. Okay, it is nothing but beta IML the whole square divided by 12 pi. That's correct. Okay, so from this we will calculate the equation for the radiation resistance. So that is given by RR. I can write RR is nothing but, anyway, this term, that is mu naught by epsilon naught, is nothing but 120 pi. This I can, this 2 and this 12 it goes, it will be 6. That is, I will direct, or otherwise I will write like this already, sir. RI is nothing but 2 into 120 pi, that is mu naught by epsilon, beta IML whole square divided by 12 pi IM square. I think that is clear. I take all the 1 by 2 in the other side and IM square also in the side. So IM square, if you take it, will be in the denominator, 2 will be in the numerator. So what happens? This 2, it will be 6. Okay. So that changes to radiation resistance. RR is nothing but how much? 120 by pi by 6 pi IM square. One small mistake I had done, because that small mistake is nothing but, it is normally, it is not IM, it is nothing but I average. It's not, the power is nothing but, so this will be I average, it is not IM. Okay, so just change that out. This is I average. Now it is clear. So this will be I average. So what happens? This will be I average. Now it's clear. 125 pm. What it will be? IM by I average, the whole. I average, IM by 120 pi. That is correct. That is IM by I average, the whole square, that term. And next term is nothing but L square, that is okay, beta square. So but you know that beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. That implies beta square is nothing but 4 pi square by lambda square. Okay, so that I will write here, that is RR is nothing but 120 pi by 6 pi. 120 pi by 6 pi is nothing but, pi and pi get cancelled, so I can write it as 20. Is not, so it will be 20 into beta square, that is 4 pi square. 4 pi square IM by I average, lambda square is there, I will write that one, IM by I average square, L by lambda the whole square. L by lambda the whole square. It is clear for you. Okay, only general small substitution only. Okay, so that changes to radiation resistance. Will be equal to 4 into 2 into 20 into 4, that is 80 pi square IM by I average, the whole square, into L by lambda the whole square. Okay, so that changes to radiation resistance. As I told you, radiation resistance is nothing but, it can be 790 into IM by I average the whole square into L by lambda, sorry, L by lambda square. Clear? So IM already, you know, I can take it has 1 by 2 into Im in general case. That is for half wave dipole antenna. I can write Im as that 1 by 2 Im by I average. In general I can write it as sorry, one mistake here. What will I average in general I can write as Im only. Okay, Im into L by lambda the whole square. So that changes to your normal case. It will be 790 this square is not Im square. Im and Im get cancelled, so it will be 790 by 4 790 by 4 L by lambda the whole square. So now it changes to the radiation, sorry, what happened? So that changes to, that is radiation resistance will be equal to 197 into L by lambda the whole square O. That is the radiation resistance. Okay, so thus for a short dipole, that is without end loading, radiation is given by this equation. Okay, so this is the equation for a short dipole antenna. Equation for radiation resistance, radiation resistance of short dipole antenna, short dipole without end loading, without end loading. Okay, so where I can write Im or I average is nothing but 1 by 2 into Im. So I think I had small mistake here somewhere I have made. That is nothing but it is normally 1 minute. One small mistake I have made, then the equation is here. So previously I was writing this is so previous case I have written the correct thing only. So this will be sorry, you can see that one. So this is Im only. Okay, so this term is will be Im only, Im. So what happens, Im by, so this will be I average, this term is I average. That is a small mistake I have written. This is I average, I average, this is Im. I average, Im. One more thing, I average by Im, I average, this is I average. So just change that one. Okay, small mistake only, I average, so this is I, sorry, I average, Im. So one more. So this will be I can write Im only. Okay, Now it is clear. Okay, so the radiation resistance of short dipole without any loading, where I average is about 1 by 2 into Im. So now it's clear. So the radiation resistance of a short dipole antenna in general we can call this as 197 ohm, or it is nothing but 197 to L by lambda the whole square ohm, where I can write it as I average is nothing but 1 by 2 into Im, where L is nothing but the length of the antenna and lambda is nothing but the C by F, okay, wavelength in free space. So thank you for this one. I will share this what you call as PDF of this note. I have taken this class in the video lecture in the OneNote, so I can directly share to you by after converting it into the PDF file. Okay, so this is somewhat lengthy equation, so lengthy derivation. Just listen, utilize this one, just listen to this or just listen to this video lecture. I think I have written all the steps without deleting a single step. I have written all the step by step I have written, so anyone can follow directly this one. So only problem is with this is my handwriting is not up to your mark, so try to make up that one, because I cannot able to write clearly by using this stylus. Okay, so try to learn this one. This is one of the important question for the examination point of view. Thank you, and thank you for watching this video. Next we can go for a small current asymptotic current distribution, and with that we can able to find that radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna. Okay, thank you.